Whoo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. It is hot out here, but I am ready to go. So, one of the last videos I just did was about fighting knives, or knife fighting, and the difference between real life and, say, movies and film, things like that. And there's a pretty sharp contrast between real and not real. And it brings me to this, the Titan. It's a fighting knife. It's a straight up self-defense knife. Not even a fighting knife, just a self-defense knife. It's built more like an Arkansas Skinner type thing, right? But I want to show you something. This is a pretty classy group. It's called TRS, Threat Response Solutions. When your name is Threat Response Solutions, I think that's pretty good. But I got this knife and they sent me a letter to me, like to Donnie. I thought that was kind of a classy move. I really like that. But then I just want to get into this. I want to get into what we're looking at in the package. And luckily I don't need to look anything up on the web because they have all their dimensions and everything right here. So let's get into it. Now, when I was looking at the knife and I said this is one I'd like to check out, I was looking at, oh, it even comes with a cool little TRS sticker, and I will be using that. But when I saw it, I saw that it was 3 millimeters thick, right? Which is really thin. Let's see. In my pocket today is my Microtech Combat Truodon, and I think the Truodon is 3 millimeters thick, or even 3.5. So the Truodon might be slightly thicker, but my point is it's really thin. The knife here is really thin, but it's a fighting knife, right? It's a self-defense knife, and the reason it's thin is because it's supposed to go in and out and get away, right? So when I looked at this, I said it's 3. I bet you I could probably give it a little bend with my hands. Absolutely, it springs right back. But it's really, really thin. And what that meant was I knew it was going to be super light. So it's like almost not even having anything in your hand, which makes it an even more dangerous shot, because if you have a big heavy piece, your natural movements, your mechanics are going to change because they're going to alter with the weight. When you have a knife that's extremely light, and believe me, I thought about this knife. I was looking at it online, and I kept looking, and I was thinking to myself of the pros and cons. There, you can get a good shot of the 3 millimeter thickness. And I was looking at it, and I said, holding this knife, it wouldn't change any of my mechanics. Every single thing, every shot is going to be the same because it's so light. And when you're talking about just pure self-defense, like, uh-oh, better pull it out of my boot. You're in some kind of place where it's getting a bit rowdy. You want thin and easy to control. This thing is so easy to control. The only reason I know it's in my hand is because of the handle. The weight is so light, I don't feel it. And so when I was trying to decide on which knife I wanted, and they actually had a couple. They had a Bowie that I really want to try, but it was out of stock. And I said, ooh, that looks really hot. It was nice. But then I saw this, and I'm reading these specs, and I'm going, it doesn't sound right. How is it this long and 3 millimeters? And then I was really thinking, and I let my head do the turning, so I picked up another knife that I had that was pretty similar in weight and thickness, and I thought, all right, maybe this could be a winner. Maybe this might be a really sweet little protection knife. So let's go over what we're looking at here. I want to see if okay, it is a GRN sheath. It is a weatherproof, quick release, glass reinforced nylon sheath. Makes the blade easy to carry, lightning fast to deploy. Now, when I first saw the sheath, one thing caught me was it's got a snap, and then it's got this little dangler, but it has Velcro, so you can kind of pin down the dangler, so that's not so bad. But then I saw this, and I went, that little tiny belt loop isn't going to fit on any human-sized belt. And right away, I thought, okay, so there's going to be a disappointment, because, you know, when you go into a knife, you want the disappointment so you can get that out of the way first. So then I took it over to my jeans, where my belt is sitting in my jeans, and I stuck it right through, and it fit perfectly. So a standard belt, this fits. It just, for some reason, looks small because most knives have these giant loops that can fit through like a utility belt. This isn't a utility belt knife, right? And the fact that it has all these lashing points here, you can even molly it. You can, you know, strap it to your gear. But the sheath is pretty good. The sheath is pretty good. The actual sheath itself, it's an easy in, easy out. Like I said, lashing holes everywhere. And it even has these rivets that hold this on are completely through, which means really you can lash it to pretty much anywhere the entire distance, right? So now let's get into this blade. I know I saw some, here we go. We got some specs right here. And it's blade thickness, 3 millimeters. We just went over that. Blade length is 7 1/4 inches. Handle length is 4 3/4 inches. Overall length would be 12 inches. It is a corrosion resistant material knife, but they still do recommend, like any knife company should, even though it's corrosion resistant, if it's getting wet, like if you get into it and it does get a little wet, wipe it off, give it a little cleaning, and you'll be good. Let's see, it is a full tang design. It is a 3CR13 MOV, and that's where a lot of the corrosion resistance comes through, because you're not getting a lot of corrosion there. And that's what helps with the flex. And the flex is good when you're talking on a blade that's 3 millimeters. The flex is good because it's not going to break when you go in and out of something. It has room to bend. If you ever watch like Braveheart, they throw his sword at the end and it hits the ground and goes wah, 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 wah. That's spring steel, right? It's made to go back and forth. When it's long, you want it to not break. So that was one of the things that caught me, is the steel. You'd look at it, some people, the knife snobs out there, they think, oh, 3R, it's no good. No, it's good for its purpose. It's what it's good for is what it's good for. This, corrosion resistance, and it flexes. I like that. So let's see. You do have, like I showed you, a little protruding out of the handle. That's good too if you need to, right there. It's a good noggin knocker. You have your the same material of the sheath, that glass reinforced nylon. That's your handle, and it's got like these cool scales on it. So when you're talking about a glass, the glass reinforced nylon handles, not all of them are good. My combat knife that I was issued for Afghanistan, that's what it was. But I think it's pretty good. Right here, this well curls. This one is flat, but it jimps. So you have a good hold on everything. So you don't have these giant guards, but you have anti-slip protection. Perfect. All right. So you have that. We're talking about the finger guard right now. It provides added grip for the user. Let's see. A flared pommel. This design increases retention for a truly combat ready blade. And it's true. Right here, you can see how my pinky is sitting right there. This right here is locking my hand in. Now, my hands are so big, I almost don't feel this well, but I can feel it. But this one, my middle finger is locking, like just locking in. A smaller hand than mine, which is going to be most hands, your hands are going to love this. Your hands are going to love that feeling. Let's see, serrated base. Serration makes quick cutting rope and other tough materials. This is a self-defense knife. You don't need to be cutting rope and other materials with this. However, if, like I say, it's the only knife you have on you and you're out somewhere and maybe you do have to cut a piece of rope because maybe something in your car broke and you got to tie something up, oh crap, the hanger just broke on my muffler, I got to tie it up just to get me home, that'll help. It'll definitely help. Let's see, dagger profile. Thin dagger profile provides efficient slashing and penetrating. That's 100% true. Blade coating is black oxide. It helps for resistance and will never chip, peel, flake, or rub off. So I'm going to put a link down there to this website, and you can check these out for yourself and check out some of their other products, some of the stuff I was looking at. And some of them, I mean, you look at it and you think the price is really good for something like this. I still can't get over like the overall weight. I don't know if the edge is like razor sharp, because I guess it is. I don't know if I'm not even on the camera, but look at this. You see all those hairs popping up. I'm kind of in a breeze, so they're blowing as soon as I get them. But the ones that are catching in the oil, it's definitely shaved sharp. That is bald right there. Definitely shaved sharp. It is a single edge. However, they do a good thing. They make it single edge to make it legal in pretty much all states. But what they did is they really swedged out the top, so it's like this top is like a dull knife. It's that swedged, right? It's not just a flat swedge. You're not going to cut yourself on it, but the penetration on this guy is going to be phenomenal. So all that yapping aside, let's go stab something. All right, so I figured we'd bring it over to the stump. I brought out a cardboard box to show you guys wound channeling and things like that. But first, let's test the balance. Remember, this is crazy light, so it should, I was going to say, lean toward the rear. And you can see just a little bit, it leaned to the rear. This one caught the dead wood, but it's got such a great penetrating point. It's stuck in. I don't know how it did that. All right, so let's do a couple hard downward throws. Bam! Did you see that? Boing. That's awesome. Okay, so that is really... Okay, I can't hide. Can't lie about the line. Look at that. It's over 3 inches buried on a hard downward throw. This swedge to that grind... Guys, I'm telling you, when you're talking about personal protection, bam, I love that twang. Let's see if we can throw it into the tire. Oh, I threw it where it's already ripped open. Oh, you can see the good pierce spot right there. Let's see if we can just, it's hard to throw into a tire. Oh, that one's going to come back and get me. It's going to come back and get me. Oh, ha, ha, ha. All right, so a steel belted tire. I threw it in, it wobbled. You can see there is no tip bending. There's no bending inside the blade itself. Man, it threw pretty good. That was a good bite into that tire too. That was nice. All right, so let's try and get a push cut. I know I told you it's not your utility knife or anything like that, but who knows? 1/2-inch nylon rope, and I told you it came sharp. I wasn't lying. I wasn't lying. All right, so here's a bunch of tests I didn't think I was going to do. I thought I was just going to be doing fighting stuff, but you know, this is the way. Oh, all right. So the edge profile creates curls. So here's the deal: if you are having to carry this knife and you are stuck in a survival must situation, I mean, come on. Those curls are as good as any survival knife you're going to find. And it's not a survival knife. Let's see here. Let's see. Just shreds. Shreds. And that's all edge profiling. Guys, that right there would help you start a fire. 100% would help you start a fire. Ugh. Man, that really gets in there. So let's see. Here's something I wasn't going to try either. I wasn't going to try banging on it. It's working, but I'm losing my stick here. You can see it's going straight through. I think as I'm in this little gully. Let's try a little bit more before the stick breaks open on me. There you go. So all that, you can still hammer on it, and it's still going to do what it needs to do. I mean, it's just so light. This thing is just, bam, it's just weirdly light. Bah, 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 bah. It's just nothing is going to alter in your hands. Yeah, I got a pizza box here. Yes, this is our standard pizzas here in New England. Welcome to Massachusetts. We got some big pizzas. So let's try some just nice straight stabs. we'll check out these wound channelings. I mean, it's just creasing. Obviously, it's cardboard. It's creasing all the way through. But if it can cut cardboard, it can cut skin, right? So let's try a slash. And that is deep all the way through. All the way through. That's a nice slash. Now let's try some figure eights, some Black Widows. That means you push, you twist, you pull. Boom! You do it all in one shot. This blade is so light. So you see these wound channels? That is uncome back fromable. That's a word now. You have a whole lot of that. All right, I got the other dog over there. Now let's see if we can do some stuff that, again, I wasn't planning on doing, but I got excited. Bam. Bam. Whoop. Bam. Ugh, pollen everywhere. Is it a chopper? Hell no, it's not a chopper. But can you chop? I don't know. I don't know. I know we can take down light things like that. I know we can do that because we just did it. Let's see. Let's see. Got some of this, some of these weeds growing. Boom, 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 boom. It's just, that stuff's easy. I want to find something to chop. I want to find something to chop on. Now for a blade like this, especially all the blade snobs, oh, you can't blah, blah, blah. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then I do it, and they kind of shut up. Some of them are still ballsy enough to try and say, no, you can't do exactly what you just did. It just doesn't work. You can't do that. Even though you just do it, they still say you can't. This is pretty good hard stuff right here. You see all wormwood right there. Well, let's see. Not a chopper. Not a chopper. But guess what? It's chopping. You know why? Because it's light. It's easy to wield. It has an edge. Right? I mean, we're not going to sit here and spend all day going through that. But what we are going to do is just be happy with the purchase. That's for damn sure. So let's take a look at the edge. You see any problems? Me neither. Let's see. Let's see here. I probably should have done this while I was over at the stump with something more secure. But we got this little serrated area. And I can use it to make notches and saw. I mean, bonus. So your fighting knife can keep you alive in a true survival situation where you're absolutely screwed, right? You're absolutely screwed. You got nowhere to go, nothing to do. You don't think you're gonna make it out. Well, guess what? Luckily, you're carrying your trusty knife, your pig sticker, and you made it out. Let's see. Now, I've never thrown this one, and it's so light, I'm not sure where the tip is going to end up, but I got to figure out how to even make you guys stand up. Let's see. That one. That wasn't a missed throw. It just fell out of my hand. But here's the good thing. That light, 3mm, 3CR, 13 MOV, it didn't break. First try! Look at that. All right, so that flew pretty nice. Once the first one went where it went, I was pretty much able to figure out exactly where the second one was going to need to go. Let's look at all the bending. Oh, there is no bending. And we got a scooter race going on right there. I don't know why he does that. Got an itchy bung. All right, so what have we learned? What have we learned about this knife in this moment? This thing right here is a knife. This thing is a knife. When I first grabbed it, I was like, ooh, this is really light. It's lighter than I thought it was going to be. And I said, it's kind of good light. It's like, for what it's made for, that's a good thing. And then I was just getting into it, man. I got to say, especially for the money for these guys. And you should look up on their website what else they have. And I'm going to try and remember to put that down there. This isn't bad. This Titan is not bad at all. For you guys who want a designated personal protection knife, something light, fast, easy, this could be your knife right here. So, let me bring you guys bring you guys back down to Chinatown. All right, so that's it right there, guys. That's it right there. It is the TRS Titan. Boop, and I'm gonna put down the link. But what I found here is a winner. I found a winner. Look at that. Look at that. There are 0 issues going on. That's after batoning with this knife. That's after chopping on hard wood with this knife. And good thing that's there. And it's still surviving, man. Nothing wrong. The grip gave me no problems at all. I'm not going to say hot spots because we didn't do enough to create hot spots. But just from the overall feel of it going on, there would be nothing to create a hot spot anyway. It's just done well as far as that regard. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. All right, boys and girls, I am Donnie B all day. Until next night.